Hi, guys. I'm hoping you can. Yeah, you should be able to hear me. I don't have my headset on, but I do have my microphone plugged in. So I'm laying, as you can see, the way I'm supposed to for a while. I want to see if, because it should be illegal, the calling in of troops over federally over um, Governor Newsom's protocol. He should be the one to contact them. That's the protocol, unless there is some really pressing emergency, and there wasn't. So I think this will be found illegal. Um, let's just see. Quick throw of the cards. And good morning to you. My morning face. Let's see. So, will this be declared illegal? Trump's deploying of troops to California and then adding more with the Marines that he didn't even have provisions for. These people he sends out don't even have a place to sleep, to put things down. This is ridiculous. Another poorly executed thing. I hope that it makes some of those that support Trump within military and law enforcement wake up and smell the coffee, the truth that he doesn't care about. January 6th was proof of that, letting officers be assaulted and beaten with flags, no less. And he didn't call in the National Guard then, and that was a melee. This was not. It was not that. When he called people in, that's when it started ratcheting up. So will this be declared illegal? Very swift moving news information. I think this is a yes. Yeah. I think this brings something to an end. So I'm going to say it is. It's going to be declared illegal. And this is a big swing for, I think, the further loss of power for Trump. Brings his end sooner, like a quickening. All right. And we get the devil, that's Trump, being the oppressive, dictatorial idiot. Okay. And overreaching. I think this shows that the response is appropriate because he overreached. He's an ogre. He's acting like an ogre. And it shows right here the truth. He's acting way grossly overreaching here and abusing of power. And you can physically see it in the cards. And again, this is a card of a completion. Something is over, something is done, something has been completed here. I think manifestation wise that he has done. It seals a deal and it has like part of the plan, there's things are building up, things are adding up, and things are coming together and completing where he's concerned. His ending, may I say, is concerned. This is the sneaky, underhanded way that he's gone about doing things illegally, like sending in these troops, not knowing it's not like, what does he think? He thinks he can sneak something in and because he's so used to getting away with things, I think. But look at this. So he sneaks something in, but there's people suffering as a result because that's the Five of Pentacles that comes with it. It's also theft, taking things away and leaving people in vulnerable shape, taking away people's rights. And also, I think the troops get called in, but there's no proper place for them to rest. They're outside, so they're vulnerable. There's just a lot of criminality here in this one act and neglect. We have the King of Wands and the Tower. So I see a King of Wands, and there is something unexpected coming, a breakdown that shows that proper, I think, protocol is not in place. Um, and it's one of those things that when what needs to be there is not there in truth, it will break down. So there's some kind of a breakdown. Now, this could go to where we're looking at Hegseth and we're looking at the military, then dealing with him. It just is a feeling when I was looking at those cards. But we've got scandal, more scandal coming. We're looking at hard work here that's going to go into this. And I think where the law is concerned, it's going to be very well laid out. Trump, I think, is going to be in trouble with this one because it's so obvious, gross overreach of his and abuse of power with this. So I think it puts a feather in Newsom's cap. I do think it will be declared illegal. Let's just get confirmation on that. Forget my morning appearance. Thanks. I also got a new oracle set, you guys, and it's the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So I'll be learning that system, sharing that deck with you guys as soon as possible. Even if I'm laying down like this, I'll share it. All right, so will Trump's actions with the military be declared illegal? What will happen as a result of his illegal actions deploying military and deploying them without proper protocol in place for them to where they can retire and rest and not be exposed to potential risk? He's just creating a mess for civilians and our military and law enforcement. It's making all of them vulnerable and creates a tension that doesn't need to be there. How will this be found? And what will happen to Trump as a result? Will this be found illegal? Get the King of Cups, the delusions and dreams. I feel like this is somebody that's speaking into Trump's ear, perhaps influencing his choices. We get the three of swords paired with the moon. Um, we're getting someone here that's wanting to set up trouble, yeah, with that three of swords and the moon in a very kind of clandestine way. And I feel like this also is showing me people that I think are trying to blend into these communities, but are agitators, maybe, with this King of Cups and the Eight of Cups paired with the Three of Swords and the Moon. I get a Queen of Swords and clarity with the Ace of Swords. But I think this person um, might be a male that will be pointed out clearly as someone not of that group, like an agitator. Like this is someone that is an agitator. And we get the Chariot and the Knight of Cups. So then, though I have asked about it being declared illegal, I think it's showing me even more things that kind of ripple out effect that are negative here. All right. Yeah, I'm getting something about a vehicle, maybe even, and someone's approaching a vehicle. And with crowds, this kind of thing makes me nervous. There's the past, there's children, there's some kind of hanged man here. I don't know if this is somebody, I don't know. It could have to do with children. Maybe it's somebody's beliefs where pro-life and there might be some kind of energy that way. But there's a different something of their past may also give people more of a clue about this King of Cups. Hmm. All right. I'm not sure what all that is. That could be something that comes up as a result. I'm asking legally. Will, again, will Trump's actions be found illegal? And what will be done about it? Anything? I tend to think that with Newsom's thing, this time is bigger. This time it has more gravity. I think it's going to matter. Just my gut feeling to you. That's why I'm filming like this. Let me just see. Is this going to be declared illegal? And what will it mean for Trump? I'm getting the 4. And this is the home. This is the local area. And as we know, it's really on to the governor to call out those troops unless there is that is what is legal. It's up to the local officials, in my opinion. And it will get worked out. Hmm. And I think because the law is that it's very clear, it should be locally declared by the state first. And I believe that they will find that he's overstepped because there is when temperance shows up, that means there is excess that needs to be moderated, changed, and greater, can be considered our nation, let alone a state, but and nation. So his excess is going to, I think, start to be corrected properly, maybe so, legally, in a way that really does define the power, and it will not be on his side. We have the Three of Wands. This is going to, I feel like, be pursued, this legal action. Now we had the Four that first showed up, the Four of Wands, about did he have the right to federally do this? And we can look to the past and him trying to say, oh, well, clearly Newsom's not good at governing. There's no, uh, clearly he's not good at being president. Um, he shouldn't be president, and he's stolen both presidencies, but that will eventually come out. He's going to have to walk away, Trump, because it's going to be clear that he overstepped. And I see retreat, taco, and I see the star. He's going to be pulling back from the spotlight. And on the other hand, too, this retreat of his is going to be really under scrutiny by the world because he's been wanting to be out there, so out there. And he's going to retreat from the spotlight and want to uh, step away from this action. So he'll probably try and create another distraction. Age of Pentacles, this is getting scrutinized. Yeah, and the power of the president, the federal power and authorities. We have a King of Pentacles and a King of Swords. So that's Trump and probably Miller, Stephen Miller, quite possibly. I feel like he's in there. And probably Hegseth. We have fighting back or defending and disconnection. So it shows something is cut off. Someone's ability to act is being disconnected. And we have those two men. So I think that then it affects those offices, the military. He's got in charge of that. Yeah, it brings these into there's a betrayal of them as well, to the military and law enforcement and what he's done. I think this is maybe some of those people realizing that. Yeah, and you get the Knight of Wands. This is not a good feeling. This is people feeling angry, betrayed, further, he's just created further discontent among more people. And I think this is that discontent that could come from those he sent after they get a taste of, and there was nothing there for us properly done, da da da. It's not good. Yeah, this is like deliberate cause of suffering with the magician and the um, Five of Cups. Sorry. Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, a stalemate. It's going to become clear, though. This will be brought forth what is the truth and what his actions did. And also looking into the secret bullying attempts, these attempts of these actions against California, withholding money and trying to make things difficult for leaders in blue states. That's going to, kind of come under the microscope more. And it should. I hope it does. So I see this from the few readings I've thrown here as definitely illegal. But will something actually be done about it? I think it is going to be effectual because we did get the death card for him. And I think it just like that just further uh takes away his power and ends his days. It's pulls away momentum that he has. But I like clarity. So, in a court of law, will Trump be held legally responsible for his actions of illegally sending troops to California, despite both governors, despite both Reps Gavin and I can't remember the lady's name in Southern California there. She said too, Bask. Don't send him. We don't. He ignored their request and went ahead and sent him anyway. He was told. He can't say that he wasn't told. So it's deliberate overreach. Will Trump have to endure punishment for this? Will he endure a punishment legally for this? That's the question. Will he face a legal consequence? We're getting the Lovers and Strength. I feel like, it just came to me that Newsom and Bass together form a strong team. And they are in harmony working together. And they know how to withstand and go after him in a legal way that I think, yes, it's going to matter. And they will have a very strong case. That's good. This is, bringing it together and for a goal and being patient, not rushing things, but collecting information of this delusional behavior of the Eight of Cups, where he's saying what amount to straight out lies, despite being told not to send them, and then is lying about Newsom and Bass not being proper uh, or doing the right thing. He's wrong. He's the one that's broken the law. So it looks to me like there's some patience that I feel like they know they have to have, and pulling this together and seeing it through and holding to him to account. And there's a lot of ego here with the Nine of Cups and the Hermit. Um, he's going to end up having to, they're going to wipe the smile off of his face and make him have to pull back. That's another coming again. So I think Bass and Newsom make a smart enough team to play the long game with this. And it's going to cause Trump, I think, to pull back and chicken again and hide from the fight, from this conflict with the Five of Wands and Temperance, and it'll get sorted. He, and this would be properly sorted, not Trump sorted. This would be appropriate, like what is truly fair, what is right. So this will, be declared illegal. And we have the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. Some man reacting childishly. But Ace of Swords, the truth, slices through any silliness, any nonsense. And they have to pull back. Four of Swords. There is pulling back, retreat, and it is clearly also an end. We get the Ace of Swords and the Four of Swords. This could even be people that get wounded, have to heal. But there is a retreat in energy. King of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. There is somebody I feel like who's could be under suspension or is examining something, looking at something a different way, or being looked at in a different fashion. What's the Hanged Man with him about? This is restriction with the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. There's a great deal of feelings that are being going to be come out about this. I think this is maybe holding somebody to detention. There could be some form of legal detention, of imprisonment for this. There should be. And maybe that's what that hung up, suspended, and restricted energies are dealing with between the Hangman and the Eight of Swords. And you can expect a lot of emotional outbursts. And the King of Pentacles could be Trump, could be used to symbolize him because he's definitely greedy. But I think it could also be somebody like one of his idiots, Miller, um, Hegseth, so on, that they get pulled into it. We keep getting the three energy popping up with this is significant. Um, this is to me a furthering of bringing and settling down the disruption that Trump is causing. That is going to continue to expand in its influence over at least California, of smoothing, settling things down. The ruckus that we're right now in is we're going to eventually move out of that and be more, I think there will be more people as a result of this that have paid attention to him doing this and be watchful of the next thing he does, using their foresight and not just being taken off guard, so to speak, because there's that energy of people anticipating, um, with the Three of Wands and waiting and watching, and things are then guided to settle down and move out of rocky waters into the smoother water. Kind of like my dream of us, or me, representing us, I guess, getting in a boat of with holding a baby, getting in a small boat in rocky water. Page of Pentacles. Again, I get that feeling that this is going to be definitely brought to legal back and forthing. And I don't believe for a moment that Bass or Newsom will allow this to slip by. They're going to use this very skillfully against him. And we get the Page of Swords, and the law is very, very, very clear here. There's no BS about it. Doesn't look, it looks like that call, the punishment, if you will, the clarity about breaking the law is going to be that very clear that he broke the law. Yep. And as I say that, there's the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. So it's a significant aspect. There's all these people, and there's gross amounts of money affected to send these troops, and just doing what he did. That it comes to light. He is exposed. Trump is exposed. We have the Emperor, that's the seat of power, and there is a great deal of sudden action going on with the Eight of Wands. Probably tweeting, it's probably something unhinged. This is something about the past and childhood with the Six of Cups, and maybe that's what he's and feeling restrained, acting, I think something about the past. He might try and bring up past riots or things like that, but it's not going to overtake the picture of the truth in the short cut of it all. This is the finding that he is, uh, you know, disregarding the legal, um, call for Newsom and Bass to not send them. This is him disobeying. Also, that part of, I think, the law. I do. And making things difficult and being held to account with judgment. So that Three of Swords and Judgment. There's the Two of Wands waiting. There's something that's hidden, yet there's something more to manifest with this. And there's a change coming with the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Wands, action being taken behind the scenes here. With there's Trump with the King of Swords, and he is worried now and anxious, not sleeping, probably and projecting his fears on other people, getting it. Like the nighttime is his time to uh, arm up with fears to project at other people in tweets and whatnot, and imaginary nonsense. In night, I think his brain further deteriorates, his logic, his reason becomes a crazy place. So it's interesting. We're getting more swords than we get coming to a crossroads or a stalemate with a Queen of Cups. And we see he's trying to fight back, but against a couple. And again, I just feel like Cat, probably it is Newsom and Bass that just have it more together and are on the same page and more effectual. And he's the fool begging for help or trying to say that they asked for help. I don't know. It's just Page of Wands and Ace of Wands. For him, it's just a beginning, further eroding his ends, bringing that a little closer. A very key, significant thing with him having called out military despite being told not to. So watch that space. See you later.